Good morning, parents, family members, friends, and distinguished guests. It gives me great pleasure to present to you the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania graduating class of 2014. I now present to you the Dean, faculty, administrators, and alumni of the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania.
Good morning, and welcome to the 130th graduation ceremony of the Wharton School. Dean Robertson, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, alumni, members of the class of 2014 and your families, we proudly gather this morning to honor and celebrate the achievements of Wharton's class of 2014. Seniors, after a few more speeches, you will no longer be Wharton students, but rather Wharton alumni. Just think, only 4 years ago you were eager to begin your freshman year at Penn. Since then, you've survived the core, you've contrived to design an incredible mix of concentrations and minors, you've thrived while traveling and studying all over the world. You've enlivened your teamwork skills through numerous group projects. You've revived yourselves through clubbing and flinging, and you've networked. And now everyone here today is overjoyed that you have arrived at the next stage of your journey. We congratulate you and wish you great impact and immense satisfaction as you pursue your upcoming endeavors in business and graduate school. As you leave Wharton, always remember that relationships will be the most important building blocks for whatever paths you follow. You have already become connected with friends, colleagues, and mentors you might never have met, but for your mutual connection to Penn. Keep in mind that while technologies like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn allow us to tabulate our connections and broadcast our thoughts, they in no way guarantee that any contact or follower or friend is someone who you can really rely upon. Said differently, pre-internet conventional wisdom suggested that we were all connected by about 6 degrees of separation. More recent research on social networks estimates a reduction to 4 degrees of separation today. But you can only enjoy the rewards of those network paths if you can truly count on the people along them. Before I suggest what you might do to build your networks and relationships, let me suggest what you shouldn't do. I challenge you to put down your electronica. That's right, your phones, your tablets, and your laptops. And then, without distraction, ask yourself, how can I develop authentic relationships and satisfying networks with friends, with business colleagues, and with loved ones? I'll submit 3 approaches: empathy, diversity, and generosity. First, empathy. Put yourself in another's shoes to understand their wants and needs. Ask not, what's in it for me, but what's in it for them. When Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis visited campus this year, many of us, including me, were angling for photo ops to demonstrate our 1 degree of separation. But who actually got Mila's personal email address? The one student who described her work developing a website to empower young women. Second, diversity. Seek relationships that expose you to different points of view. At our April lunch mixer, among 16 distinguished alumni and 64 students, my favorite result was that Eric's son, Eric, a proud senior sitting in the finance section today. There you are. Eric met an alumna with a very successful floral import business and subsequently interviewed her for a class project. It's only a matter of time before a unique tidbit from the floral industry allows Eric to develop a more creative solution to a financial services problem. And Eric, when that happens, I expect an update. Last but not least, generosity. The most viral graduation speech of 2013 by George Saunders at Syracuse University can be summed up in his one phrase: err in the direction of kindness. You are each poised on the verge of tremendous personal and professional success. You will never regret sharing it and paying it forward. On behalf of the Wharton Undergraduate Division in G95, I ask you to keep us updated and to come back and develop relationships with the students who will follow you. As you begin your new journeys and adventures, we wish you great happiness. For those Pharrell fans here, that means being happy like a room without a roof. Warmest congratulations to you and your loved ones. And now I am pleased to introduce Thomas S. Robertson, Dean and Reliance Professor of Management and Private Enterprise and Professor of Marketing here at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. During his tenure, Dean Robertson has been a visionary leader promoting our three strategic foundations, globalization, innovation, and social impact, to ensure that Wharton remains one of the world's preeminent business schools. Dean Robertson is an expert in marketing strategy and competitive behavior, the diffusion of innovation, and consumer behavior. He is a member of the board of directors for a number of leading corporations and international universities. This is his last graduation season as dean. Having served as Wharton Dean since 2007, he will return to academic life in the Department of Marketing. Please join me in welcoming Dean Thomas S. Robertson.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And welcome. It's great to see you all. Glad you made it. As Dean Rosenkopf just mentioned, this is indeed my final graduation ceremony at Penn. And so it gives me great pride to say congratulations to the graduates, the families, the friends. And actually, you're my fellow graduates since I'm leaving too. But it took me 7 years to your 4, which shows what you can do when you work 24/7. As many of you know, U.S. News and World Report has Wharton as #1 for undergraduate business, which actually, they also have our MBA program as #1, tied with Harvard and Stanford, which isn't too bad, you know. So it's a good moment when you graduate, and it's a great time for me to leave as dean while we're #1, right? Before another ranking might come along and have us #2 or 3 or whatever, so I'm getting out while the going is good. So you really are #1, and I'll hold this foam finger up for one more second because this might be a good moment for a photo to be used on social media sites. So be hashtag Wharton grad. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask some of my friends in the front row here to come up, and we're going to do a selfie with you guys in the background, and then we'll get it out to social media. So. That was good, and no one fell off the stage, which is also good. Going out on top is just one of the many things of which you have to be proud. You pioneered the peer advising program and served as our first peer advising fellows. You started the Wharton Undergraduate Giving Society as a way to give back and support your peers, and you helped form the Social Impact Advisory Board. In short, you endorsed new ideas, and more importantly, you paid it forward and gave us valuable feedback to make a life at Wharton better for the class of 2015 and beyond. And I do want to note that if you ever miss Wharton, you can always find us on Sirius XM, radio powered by the Wharton School, channel 111, So you've all been tuning in, right? We're now up to 26 hours a day broadcasting. We'll soon be up to 40. We'll be reaching 1 million people a week pretty soon, so you'll find us there. I'm acutely aware that the amount of knowledge and skill you've gained in these last 4 years exceeds the amount of wisdom that I can impart in the next few minutes. But I did want to leave you with a couple of thoughts and what will distinguish you as you move forward in your careers. Yes, your skills and training are vitally important, and I would argue unequal. Still, you will encounter a few people with almost equivalent skills and training. So I'll take the next few minutes to talk about what will distinguish you. In ancient times, mariners navigated at night by looking out of the corner of their eyes for the faint light on the horizon. They did this because when you look directly at a faint star, it seems to disappear. But when you look just off to the side, you see it was there all along. There's a physiological explanation for this involving the rods and cones in your eye, but I want to take a more metaphorical point of view. Similar to the ancient mariners, if you stare directly ahead all the time, you're likely to miss the fainter lights seen only out of the corner of your eye that sometimes offer greater guidance. How many times have we heard that only a tiny percentage of communication is verbal? How many times have each of us paid dearly for missing a subtle gesture, a cue, a look? Data too delivers subtle cues. Especially in large organizations, outlying data have a tendency to get factored away and ultimately ignored as information rises up the chain of command. It takes special attention and deliberate awareness to look for the fainter light that sometimes offers greater guidance. The financial meltdown, global conflicts, how many crises might have been averted if we had paid attention to the weak signals seen only out of the corner of your eye and integrated them into our thinking and planning. And conversely, how many opportunities are seized by those who pick up the weak signals? Whether it's LinkedIn, which as a Wharton undergrad alumnus is the CEO, connecting people into what has become the largest professional network on the planet, or Uber using technology to overcome a persistent but low-level grumbling about the taxi cab experience, or Venmo brought to you by Penn grads doing away with IOUs by letting you send money from your phone. How many more subtle signals are waiting to be turned into major business opportunities? But often picking up the subtle signals means stepping back, slowing down, reflecting. Even in the undoubtedly fast-paced environment in which you exist, the wisdom of Cicero still holds. It's not by muscle, speed, or physical dexterity that great things are achieved, but by reflection, force of character, and judgment. Because while you might get a lot done with a packed schedule, if it means that you miss the subtle signals and therefore fail to integrate them with your knowledge of the strong signals, all of your hard work could be for naught. So, do take time to reflect. And don't ignore the weak signal, the subtle tone, the faint light out of the corner of your eye that will give you a clearer perspective. Then, as you make your plans and choose your goals, don't be afraid if the road ahead is not as straight or as smooth as you'd hope. It rarely is. In life, as in business, you can plan and prepare all you want, but even the best of these efforts are done with the full knowledge that you cannot plan for everything. I'm sure a few of you have developed a strategic plan for your career. And maybe you wrote it years ago and you wrote the words Wharton 2014 all in caps. Or maybe it said Harvard, Yale, or Princeton, in which case things have already gone much better than planned. Still, I would caution you against over-planning your careers, because just as students who graduated 25 years ago now work in private equity, hedge funds, nanotechnology, internet-based businesses, and green technologies, and on, industries that did not exist then, I believe that many of you will ultimately work in and lead industries that do not exist now. And more personally, it was an exciting, unplanned path that brought me to this career in academia and ultimately to this stage today. Indeed, mine has, in many ways, been a life unplanned, and looking out with great pride at all of you and this institution we call Wharton. I would not have had it any other way. Of course, that doesn't stop me from imagining the other things that I could have done. My other dream job, and what I'm going to start pursuing, given Laurie has told you when I'm leaving, is to be the manager of the Manchester United Football Club. Now, the fact that a number of you get that reference is testament to how international our school has become. And as some of you may know, manager David Moyes, who was the manager of Manchester United, was released 3 or 4 weeks ago. So the job is open. And so as of July 1, I'm available. I've coached my daughters in Little League soccer. I've got a lot of experience. And while I don't want to sow discord on this day of unity, I do need to poll the graduates about the world's most famous footballers. You know, the World Cup starts in 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Now, I don't mean Tom Brady or Russell Wilson. What I mean is the most talented soccer player in the world. Is it Ronaldo or is it Messi? Okay? Now, if you said Messi, it's probably because he scores a higher percentage of his goals per shot. That's good. The shot count, however, is what makes Ronaldo special. He shoots more, 2 shots more per game. The idea of taking the shot holds across every sport. Hockey legend Wayne Gretzky made famous the saying, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." And he took 5,000 shots to score his record 894 goals. In baseball, Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson struck out more than almost any other player in the history of baseball. But we don't remember that. We remember his home runs. So my point holds. We reward and remember those who take the shot. I want to offer a final observation for the next generation of leaders in this digital age. The word cyber, which has become a prefix for so much in the world of technology, actually comes from the Greek word meaning helmsman, or one who steers the ship. As leaders, you will be responsible for steering the ship, minding the compass of companies, of industries, even in some cases of governments. And I hope you're guided as much by your moral compass as your technical prowess. So, as I leave this position and you leave Wharton, I will simply say, you have the concepts and methods to excel, and you know what you need to do, take time to reflect, stay tuned to the weak signals, and without fear of failure, and open to what may lie ahead, where it may lead, take the shot. If you can do these things, if you can put the skills you've developed to the best possible use, you will surely find your chosen path rewarding and enriching, not only for you, but also for the world that we share. And that world is one which I have every expectation that you will lead. Congratulations. Each year, a representative from the graduating class is selected as Wharton's graduation speaker. This year, it's my pleasure to introduce Edgardo Boiser. Eddie is from Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, graduating with concentrations in finance and management. And during his time at Wharton, Eddie was part of the Joseph Wharton Scholars Program and served as president of the Wharton Alliance and president of the Penn Mock Trial Team. For the past 2 summers, he worked in investment banking at Morgan Stanley, and after graduation, he will work in management consulting at Bain in New York. Please join me in welcoming Eddie Boiser.
Hey guys. Good morning, Dean Robertson, Deputy Dean Gibbons, Vice Dean Rosenkopf, faculty, staff, distinguished alumni of all reunion years, family, friends, and finally, to my fellow graduates. I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous. Because not only are there 5,000 people staring at my face on a gigantic Jumbotron, and not only am I speaking in front of 600 of some of the most intelligent and critical Wharton students that I've ever met. I'm mostly nervous because this is the first time in my 4 years at Wharton that I'm giving a speech without the help of a PowerPoint. So even though I can't distract you from what I'm saying with colorful graphs and charts, I was assured that if I do exceed 5 minutes, a Management 100 TA will scream time and drag me off the stage. You know, when I first applied to Wharton, my guidance counselors told me not to waste my time and money, that an institution like Wharton would never accept me because of who I was and where I came from. I graduated from a small public high school in New Jersey that had never really sent a graduate to the Ivy League before, and it was because of this that I almost didn't apply. If it weren't for the words of my mother, she said to me in a very stern voice, "B-boy," that's my nickname, "never sell yourself short despite what anyone tells you." So, while it may be hard for us Wharton students to think of selling something short in any other context besides trading securities, let me give you a few examples of what I mean. It's that feeling we got when we scored below the mean on our first exam. It's the discouragement we felt when we were stuck working in Huntsman while all of our friends were having fun at Tap House. And it's the despair that overcame us when we walked into the OCR suite for our first job interview and realized it looked like a prison. You see, the obstacles that Wharton has thrown at us may have caused us to stumble, trip, and sometimes even fall flat on our face. But the fact that we are all sitting here today in the seats beneath us proves that we are a resilient class, ready to blaze our own trails into the world that awaits us. But before we go, we can't forget about what it means to have a degree from Wharton. Wharton has taught us beyond the frameworks and beyond the equations that it doesn't matter if you're black or white, gay or straight, from a public high school or a private high school, if you're going to be an investment banker or entrepreneur. It doesn't matter who you are or where you've come from. We may have all entered Wharton as different people, but we're all leaving bearing the same burden. And it's a burden that's been carried by countless Wharton graduates before us, from the president of Oracle Corporation to the CEO of LinkedIn. It's the burden to be the one to solve the unsolvable problem. It's the burden to take risks when no one else has the courage to do so. It's the burden to be the leader when nobody else wants to be, and it's the burden to use our privilege as Wharton graduates to do good, to give back to those who are less fortunate than we are. And while we must never forget about what this burden is and what having a Wharton degree means, we must always remember the people who helped us get here. So first, to the faculty, everyone sitting behind me, you've challenged us far beyond our expectations. Wharton was really hard. Thank you for pushing us to produce only the best and highest quality work that our school is known for. And when we came to your And when we came to your office hours arguing for that one extra point on your last exam, thank you for reminding us that we were more than just grades, and we were more than just standard deviations and averages. Next, to the families and everyone in the stands today, thank you for being our biggest supporters long before we ever stepped foot in Penn. And thank you for constantly reminding us to never sell ourselves short. And when we called you crying hysterically as if the world was crashing down around us, thank you for reminding us that it wasn't the end of the world, it was just a B+. And finally, to my fellow friends and graduates, thank you for showing us what it means to be brave, how to be passionate, and how to be selfless. For there are people graduating amongst us who are already fulfilling their burden as Wharton students. Take, for example, Tanya Chidas. Tanya, where are you? Hey. Tanya was featured on the cover of Time magazine for her bravery in speaking up for undocumented Americans in our country. And next, there's also Stephanie Weiner, who Business Insider named as one of the top venture capitalists in our country under 30 years old. And who can forget about Guy Viner, who was featured in the Huffington Post for his selfless work as a go-giver, proving that you don't always have to be a go-getter to be successful. Guys, these people, our classmates, have proven that we are not defined by standard deviations and averages, and we are not defined by our internships and occupations. Instead, we are defined by the actions that we take and the impact that we make on a world that desperately needs our help. And that is what's going to make our Wharton education all the more worthwhile. It has been an absolute honor and privilege to have sat next to you, worked with you, and befriended you for these past 4 years, and I eagerly look forward to the success that you are all destined to accomplish. Thank you, and congratulations again.
The class of 2014 had the opportunity to select a faculty member to address them at graduation. All Wharton seniors had the opportunity to vote, and this year's faculty speaker is Professor Kartik Hosanagar. Kartik Hosanagar is a professor in the Operations and Information Management Department and serves as the academic director of Wharton's Venture Initiation Program. Kartik's research focuses on the digital economy, and he teaches courses on technology and entrepreneurship. He has received multiple research and teaching awards at Wharton. Kartik is an amateur filmmaker, an entrepreneur, and an avid supporter of student entrepreneurs at Penn. Please join me in welcoming Professor Hosanagar.
Thank you, Laurie. I'm deeply honored that all of you selected me as your faculty speaker on this very important day in your lives. When I was asked to speak today, I wondered what could I possibly say to you that you haven't heard before. A friend of mine suggested that I go back to my own commencement and try and recollect if some words have stayed with me. I said, fantastic idea. The only catch was that I went to a college in India which did not have a commencement ceremony. At the end of the final semester, we pretty much packed our bags and vacated our rooms. And given there was no commencement, it never really hit home that I had graduated from college. And the fact that my day-to-day work is at a university today, it still hasn't fully hit home that I have graduated. So in some ways, this is my commencement as well. The best that I can wish for you, thank you. The best that I can wish for all of you is that 15 years from now, I hope you too are surrounded by the energy, the vibrancy, and even the flippancy that we all take for granted today. And I hope that 15 years from now, your zeal for learning remains the same as it is today. As I reflect on what it means to enjoy learning, I think back to my own path through school. Back when I was in grade 4, I was in a school with very strict rules and where the slightest deviation from the norms was frowned upon. I found myself struggling in an environment with so many rules. School wasn't easy, so I decided to take charge. My dad would drop me to school. I would pretend I'm walking into school. I would wait for him to go out of sight, and I would turn around and walk away. And I roamed around the city and came back home at 4 p.m., and I pretended I was in school all day. This was when I was 8 years old. Now, I probably thought that I could pull this off for a long time, but I was unfortunately caught in about a week. I was suitably admonished and sent back to school. I returned to school and labored through it for the next several years. Given my history, I'm sure no one could have predicted that I would end up with a PhD or end up in academia. What I have learned really is that your value does not come from external validation. It comes from crafting and following your own path and not getting bogged down by expectations of others. And more importantly, at Wharton, not getting bogged down by what others around you are doing. You have to find your own path. Finally, I want to go back to this question of what words of wisdom I can offer you. I borrow the profound words of philosopher Gao. She said, Ra, ra, ah, 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 Roma, Roma, mama, ga, ga, ooh, la, la. Oops, I hope I got the right printout. I want your ugly. I want your disease. I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love. Love, love, love. Now let's take a closer look at these words. I want your ugly. I want your disease. These words are asking us to care about other people's suffering. As ambitious people who are committed to the pursuit of our goals, it is easy to become self-absorbed. Whatever your personal pursuits, I hope you don't lose the basic human ability to care for others. Next, philosopher Gao says, I want your everything as long as it's free. Here, she's providing words of wisdom for entrepreneurs. Whatever happens, always be frugal. Successful entrepreneurs bootstrap well and try to get everything for free. Finally, philosopher Gao says, I want your love. Love, love, love. The message is simple. Most important of all pursuits is the pursuit of love. It's important to love and be loved. Now, while I've conveyed my message in a lighter vein, I couldn't be more serious about my words of advice for you. While I know you will all be successful in your professional pursuits, I hope you will be caring human beings as well, and I hope you will be entrepreneurial and free-spirited in your approach to life, and I hope you discover love. Class of 2014, I wish you the best, and may the force be with you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Alexa Ellman, and I am co-chair of the Wharton Dean's Undergraduate Advisory Board. I'd like to begin by congratulating the class of 2014. Graduation is a time for each of you to take pride in your accomplishments at the university and in the Wharton School. It is also a time when, as students, we pause and recognize the contributions of our outstanding faculty. Each year, the Wharton Undergraduate Division recognizes faculty who have demonstrated outstanding commitment to teaching and to the learning environment. I'd like to ask those recipients who could be with us today to please stand when I call your name. Please hold your applause until I have announced all of this year's Teaching Award winners. Recipients of the Excellence in Teaching Award in Standing Faculty are Eduardo Azevedo, Business Economics and Public Policy; Keisha M. Cutright, Marketing; Guy David, Healthcare Management; Adam M. Grant, Management; Kartik Hosanagar, Operations and Information Management; Robert P. Inman, Finance, Business Economics and Public Policy, and Real Estate; Bill Lawfer, Legal Studies and Business Ethics; Ruben Lobel, Operations and Information Management; Diana Robertson, Legal Studies and Business Ethics; Ram Y. Schrift, Legal Studies and Business Ethics. Please join me in congratulating these faculty members for their teaching excellence. The Wharton School also recognizes excellence in teaching for the undergraduate core curriculum. This year, Thomas Donaldson, Mark O. Winkleman Professor of Legal Studies and Business Ethics, has been awarded the Rappaport Family Undergraduate Core Teaching Award. This honor, based on student course evaluations, is awarded to Professor Donaldson for his outstanding teaching in Legal Studies 210, Corporate Responsibility and Ethics. Please join me in congratulating Professor Donaldson for his teaching excellence. Our final teaching honor, the William G. Whitney Award, is given in recognition of excellence in teaching in the affiliated faculty. I would ask that any recipients who could be here with us today, please stand when I call your name, and please hold your applause until I have announced all of this year's winners. This year's award recipients are Martin A. Asher, Finance; Stephen Blum, Legal Studies and Business Ethics; Stephen T. Miller, Legal Studies and Business Ethics; Nicholas Rongion, Legal Studies and Business Ethics; and Scott R. Rosner, Legal Studies and Business Ethics. On behalf of the entire Wharton undergraduate community, I would like to thank these professors for their commitment to both teaching excellence and to their students. Please join me in applauding this year's recipients. It is my pleasure to ask Dean Robertson to return to the podium to present this year's Dean's Awards.
Thank you, Alexa. All right, so first is the Dean's Award for excellence. Wow, that's pretty broad, isn't it? So the recipient of this year's Dean's Award for Excellence is a stellar example of the importance of community, connection, and social responsibility. She flourished inside and outside the classroom. An encounter in Management 100 with a classmate and founder of Power Up, led her to join that organization, which Inc. magazine labeled the coolest college startup. As Power Up's Director of Investment, she worked to address social issues in Kenya by, for example, helping single mothers gain skills to earn a sustainable living based on agro-processing and researching decisions that pharmaceutical company executives make in developing countries. Our reward recipient strengthened the Wharton community as a board member of Wharton Women, TA for Management 100, and research assistant for the Work-Life Integration Project. Her efforts were recognized by Penn for Marshall and Rhodes Scholarships, and she was a finalist for the Wharton Venture Award. To this list, we add the accolade of Dean's Award for Excellence, presented to Hannah Kamarik. Thank you, Hannah. The Dean's Award for Innovation. The recipient of this year's Award for Innovation created the Dorm Room Fund, a student-run venture capital fund that invests $500,000 in on-campus student-run companies here at Penn and in New York, Boston, and San Francisco. By creating the initiative, this student helped his classmates start their own companies. In fact, Dorm Room Fund has invested in 11 companies run by Penn students. Also, by conducting workshops, inviting speakers, and holding a summit of entrepreneurial leaders, our award recipient helped to build a strong campus-wide interest in entrepreneurship. In his spare time, he's written 20 open source projects comprised of more than 100,000 lines of computer code that have been downloaded more than 100,000 times. He also wrote a book about programming 3D games, and he's the co-leader of an international group of game developers whose work has been downloaded 250,000 times. For promoting the spirit of innovation, I am pleased to present the 2014 Dean's Award for Innovation to Isaac Sukin. Isaac? Thank you on behalf of Wharton. The Dean's Award for Service to Penn and the Philadelphia community. The recipient of this year's award encompasses one of our core values at Wharton, doing well by doing good. Seeing the reality of budget cuts within the school district of Philadelphia, today's recipient fought to keep debate as an after-school activity in public schools. Through debate, he helped to bridge the achievement gap by teaching effective communication skills to high school students. He volunteered many hours with Penn for Youth Debate, redesigned a debate curriculum for middle schools and high schools, and organized the UPenn Liberty Bell Classic Debate Tournament. He also assisted the Wharton Social Impact Initiative and has served as a Mayor's Scholar Mentor. A proud Philadelphia native, our award recipient gave his time and energy to improving his community. It is my pleasure to present the 2014 Dean's Award for Service to Penn and the Philadelphia community to Charles Gress. Charles? Thank you. This year, we have two winners of the Award for Service to Wharton. Our first recipient succeeded in creating a stronger, more unified undergraduate community. She's done this through her active involvement in student life, her work as a Wharton ambassador, a Management 100 team advisor, a cohort mentor, and most of all, through her significant involvement in Wharton Women during the past 4 years. During her tenure as president of Wharton Women, she helped to grow the organization's membership and implemented new initiatives that increased the organization's impact internally and through its outreach in the community. Our award winner helped to oversee more than 70 events during her 1-year tenure as president. More importantly, she helped to make Wharton Women an organization that cultivates a community of women leaders, a network that's sure to last a lifetime. For her contributions to the Wharton community and for cultivating and empowering women undergraduate leaders, I'm happy to present the 2014 Dean's Award for Service to Allegra Margolis. Thank you, Allegra. Our second recipient of the Dean's Award for Service to Wharton has been a change agent and leader in the school's LGBT community. He served as president of the Wharton Alliance, an LGBT undergraduate student organization. In addition to creating a community for LGBT students and allies at Wharton through events and initiatives, he led the club to become an advocate for LGBT issues within the school, Penn, and the greater community. He and others from the Wharton Alliance worked with my administration to draft a change to the Wharton Employee Diversity Action Plan to include language addressing the non-discrimination of LGBT employees. This proactive initiative also received notice by Bloomberg Businessweek, which recognized Wharton for its exemplary acceptance of LGBT employees. For his advocacy on behalf of LGBT at Wharton and for making the school a better place for students, staff, and faculty, I present the second of our 2014 Dean's Award for Service to Edgardo Boiser. I now draw your attention, finally, to the many other student award winners listed in the graduation program. Will these award winners listed in the program please stand and be recognized? We value all of you. On behalf of the Wharton School, I thank all of you for your sincere commitment to knowledge, innovation, and service. You exemplify the best of the Wharton ethos, and I'm deeply indebted to you. So please join me once again in congratulating all of those remarkable student leaders.
Okay, are you ready? We will now have the roll call of graduates. Dr. Scott Romica, Director of Academic Affairs and Advising, and Ms. Liz Sutton, Associate Director of the Wharton Undergraduate Division, will be reading the roll call of graduates. Graduates, please prepare to come up onto the stage.
We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in accounting. Professor Mirko Heinle will greet the candidates. Samantha Ann Alaka. Christopher Bush. Kenneth Douglas Ginsberg. Jose Natividad Gonzalez Camarena. Melissa Elizabeth Hong. Christopher Martin. Renee Nicole Pollinetz. Eric Choiquette. Alejandro Felicen Vilero. Christopher Wang. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in actuarial science. Deputy Dean Michael Gibbons will greet the candidates. And Kenji Blue. Celeste Elen Bremen. Georgia C. Godadaro. Boting Lee. Tatenda Kevin Mpofu. Paul Singman. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in behavioral economics. Deputy Dean Michael Gibbons will greet the candidates. Lang Dang. Amelia Romulus Wilson. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in business economics and public policy. Professor Arthur Van Bentham will greet the candidates. Megan Bethel. Samuel Blumenthal. Fernando Castro. Blake Jackson Ellison. Charles J. Gress III. Chaitanya Jayanti. Janelle Lesniak. Kathleen Simon. Colin Tsang. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in environmental policy and management. Deputy Dean Michael Gibbons will greet the candidates. Dominic Lawrence Yin. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in healthcare management and policy. Professor Guy David will greet the candidates. Peter George Bitar. Yilan Chen. Aditi Gupta. Harley Kay. Kasia Klasa. Julie Ann Kozaraki. Amy Minyak Le. Logan McLean. Michael Janine Matthews Dace. George Marcos Parlamas. Arthi Ramesh. Sherry Yang. Fernando Sasueta Leon Quintero. Wendy J. Zhang. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with an individualized concentration. Deputy Dean Michael Gibbons will greet the candidates. Paolo Batista. Jake Morgan Lasker. Casey Golden Rosengren. Chantel Dominique Walton. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in insurance and risk management. Deputy Dean Michael Gibbons will greet the candidates. Matthew Gould. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in Operations and Information Management. Professor Ruben Lobel will greet the candidates. Gina Ah Fen. Melanie Sarah Appleby. Catalina Arango. Julio Herman Arias Castillo. Michael Cristobal Arriaga. Danica Jane Bassman. Jose Alejandro Bermudez. Andrew Biven. Nicholas Bacardi. Miranda Boydston. Evan Terrence Booker II. Timothy Chai. Julie Cheng. Aditya Dahia. Robert Dearborn. Sherry Jill Deckelboim. Bridget Eamon. Maximilian Fetterman. Spencer Granelli. Lance Gerwitz. Molly Hay. Erica Ho. Samuel Isaac Hugi. Benjamin Nguyen. Nicole Huang. Ulhas Sanjay Jugdale. Jamik James. Bing Kwong Zhang. Jeffrey Jenkins. Iba Jia. Daniel Judd. Jenna Canterman. Omar Hassan Kasuli. Jamie Kent. Maximilian William Lamb. Edward Lando. Celia Madeline Lewis. Wing Yan Lee. Betty Yuen Tong Liao. Jason Jonathan Lokuta. Justin James Marjuki. Kelsey Lee Matavish. Elonia Saw McHenry. Pollock Mittal. Efnan Moharam. Nathan Harriger. Olivia Catherine Olt. Tetilayo Oshinaya. Matthew Page. Spencer Samuel Penn. Julia Poslins. Christina Chu. Alex Rattray. Isabella Rolla. Aditayo Sanusi. David Sawyers. Haley Renee Schools. Sunny Sanjay Shah. Laura Slider. David Ross Spiro. Isaac Sukin. Jennifer Sun. Christine Tediyato. Ivan Turadich. Celine Wee. Stephanie Miriam Weiner. Jeffrey Lee Wen. Stephanie Fabre. Sydney Werber. Michelle Huang. Angela Wu. Ying Nan Shu. Rinki Yang. Lawrence Yen. Julie Marie Young. Yuan Juan Yu. Junia Zhang. Wendy Yuen Zhao. Lenny Zhu. Daria Zmachinskaya. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in real estate. Professor Maisie Wong will greet the candidates. Christopher Francis Bratz. Bradley Joseph Foster. Adam Charles Goldberg. Alexander Kahn. Matthew LeBlanc. Karen Lee. Sean LeBeau. Satong Ma. Eric Ignatius Repnicki. Charles F. Schoner. Joseph J. Schlossberg. Alan Brewer Sostek. Alan Spindell. Kenji Nathaniel Tullman. Sharon Shwo-Jun Wang. Eric Wright. J. Nathaniel Yang. Joseph Zhang. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in statistics. Professor Zhongming Ma will greet the candidates. Si-Won Kao. Danghui Chen. Spencer Drew Eisner. Alexander Ivanchik. Ellen Fu. Chung Wan Ji. Robert Benedict Greco. Rebecca Greenblatt. Max Keefe. Ho Min Kwok. Tim Jingtan Liu. Andrew Gregory Ma. Nicholas McCormick. Layla Mojan. Daniel Jepil Su. Manasnan Surialak. Daphne Sukas. Edward Wadsworth. Dominic Philip Waltz. Patrick Bruce Wingo.
We now present the candidates for a Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in management. Professors Adam Cobb and Martine Haas will greet the candidates. Andrew Abrams. Budur Al-Alawi. Alan Ariel. Joshua Lee Arnold. Shahab Banji. Sierra Ruth Blake. Cole Julian Blum. Daniel Calderon. Karina Chan. Rachel Ann Clark. Amanda Coe. Erin Virginia Cooney. Trevor Crombie. Richa D'Souza. Timothy Flank. Preston Jordan Fletcher. Shreya Goel. Adam Taylor Hebert. Sumin Huang. Stephanie Johnson. Luke J. Kelly. Ariana Keshavars. Junyub J.Y. Lee. Alice Cushion Liu. Yadavin Mahendraraj. Radhika Mahidhara. Shannon Marie Mangini. Allegra H. Margolis. Sean Ravi Mera. Juan Carlos Melendez Torres. Christopher Sean Miller. Taylor Mills. Daniel Milner. Max Morgillo. Scott Myslinski. Varshil Patel. Sharag Patri. Jenny Peckman. Lisa Piatnica. Anireddy Sudhira Reddy. Malik Reynolds. Evan Rosenbaum. Jonathan Rosenbaum. Jason Rudin. Mark Jacob Schwertner. Richa Sharon. Tanjanika Denise Smith. James R. Stein. Chelsea Elizabeth Strickland. Abraham Sutton. Kelsey Aaron Taylor. Federico Velarde. Guy Viner. Lauren Wilcox. Maxine Frances Winston. Elizabeth Woods. Nicole Allison Woon. Lisa Shu. Jamie Yap Shing. Rebecca Yip. Yunpei Sang. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in marketing. Professors Cassie Mogilner and Jagmohan Raju will greet the candidates. Dua Abu-Hijle. Lauren Altamura. Mau Nganje Unten Ukan. Alex Baquero. Lauren Samantha Bridges. Megan Elizabeth Budashak. Tanya Victoria Chairez Hernandez. Kristen Chan. Stephanie Chan. Linley Che. Catherine Victoria Colt. Josiel Puseta. Oscar A. Cullen Lopez. Kayla Nicole Dollarbrook. Van Din. Marcus Elliott Dungy. Jonathan Mills Franco. Catherine Laura G-Wax. Eliza Jobs Good. Mac Edward Gorsey Biblowitz. Unker Mithal Goyo. Kevin Hershey. Elaine Houston. Ethan Reese Jones. Esther Unjin Kim. Jong-un Barbara Kim. Marin Kukoc. Amanda Jane Langhorn. Changwon Lee. Austin Lee Levitt. Christine Lim. Pyongyang Nancy Liu. Natalie Liu. Mia Alisa Mudlumbayan. Tiffany Crystal Mills. Mariam Mir. Nanette Ogechi Nunu. Daniel Ortiz. Naz Ozbek. Vivian Punchow. Chadwick Pritchard. Alexander Maximilian Simmons Reed. Jenica Gwen Reichert. Max Bernard Reiter. Douglas Rintoul. Ashley Natasha Rivera. Serge St. Preux. Connor Gordon Scott. J. Paul Singh. Joseph Smithy. Sarah Sodine. Pascal Tam. Courtney Tomchick. Nicole Elise Webster. Christina Nicole Wesley. Matthew Williams. Jessica XU. Thomas Uhas. Timothy Zhang. Chinchin Zhao. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in marketing and communications. Professors Cassie Mogilner and Jagmohan Raju will greet the candidate. Oscar Orozco. We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in marketing and operations management. Professors Jagmohan Raju and Ruben Lobel will greet the candidates. Jessica Chen. Tiffany DeCuna. Sarah Nicole Escape. Ariella Freund. Ron Gang. Esther Huang. Trisha Jane. Sharu Jongid. Lisa Henna Lee. Jason Lucibello. Chelsea McCook. Avnish Mirpuri. Edward Nar. Victoria Noel Sakel. Shelley Tang. Joseph Tsai. Ozdi Wan. Connie Yuan.
We now present the candidates for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in finance. Professors Karen Lewis and Christian Opp will greet the candidates. Yasmina Abdel Malik. Frederick Abiprabowo. Aditi Ajay Abrol. Oyinda Adefoye. Jesse I. Ahmad El Ghanem. Carlos Alonso Torres. Juan Alteriba. Akshay Amin. Paul Ajay Mpofo. Nikita Kaur Anand. Justin Ong. Ashley Elizabeth Armstrong. Daniel Isaac Matheson Aronowitz. Osman Azami. Guilherme Bayardi. Travis Bailey. Gilbert Baltzer. Rohan Bansal. Alec Michael Barnes. Shahom Basathaker. Kenneth Michael Bayerlein II. Matthew Benson. Alexander Berlinski. David Berniard. Sushant Bardwaj. Nuvid Buyan. Katerina Brzezicka. Wei Chow. Michael Captain. Stephen Paul Carpinello. Tyler Carson. James Chai. Amanda Chan. Kenny Hua Chan, Jr. Brian Lee Chang. Christina Ye Chang. Sue Chang. Benjamin Edward Charbonnel. David Se Chen. Catherine Sin-Yoon Chung. Sang Kyo Cheon, Dennis Chu, Joanne Sowon Chu, Houng William Chun, Brandon Clark, Alexia Kohade, Leslie Christine Cook, David Costigan, Joao Pedro Delia Dalmeida, Raymond Diane Yoros, Arlindo de Carvalho Pinto, Carlos de la Cruz III, Vikram Aditya Dhawan, Vincent DiGiorgio IV, Biana Djurjevic, Stephanie Doe, Max Dolitsky, Soham Doshi, Megan Philpott Dwyer, Kareem El Sayad, Brian Engel, Sarah Catherine Engetta, Mimi Heng Fan, David Fegley, Shuje Feng, Jay Feng, Jonathan Robert Font, Emily K. Foong, Michael Seth Friedson, Elana Leonid Furman, Ronak R. Gandhi, John Jaja, Timothy Lou Ghosh, Marissa Hope Gittler, Vaibhav Goyal, Akshat Goenka, Kevin Goldfarb, Michael Gorakovsky, Mahima Govil, Devin Graber, Anthony Greco, Matthew Lewis Greenberg, Robert Grove, Konstantin Gumenitsa, Yu Hang Guo, Sarvshresht Gupta, Dongjin Han, Kelly Marie Adams Hanna, Catherine Eileen Harrington, William Everett Hartgee, Christopher Hatfield, Thomas Joseph Hayden, Chi He, Stephen Helstern, Shi He, Ray Hernandez, Anne Hilliard Hewitt, Kelsey Hilbrick, May Allison Hockhauser, Jaron Hong, Robert Horwitz, Lily Huang, Robert Kyle Hutchison, Jonathan Hua, Katarzyna Imielska, Carl Ingram, Michael Ira, Evan Jackson. Brandon Jaffe. Angela Sowon Jang. Somal Arvind Jarawala. Sebastian Jaskowski. Nandita Jutkar. Jesse Zhaozhang Jia. Prerna Kakar. Hana Manil Kamarick. Joshua Kaminer. Sung-hee Kang. Murad Khatan. Tamar Katz. Zachary Katz. Michael B. Kaufman. Ellery Kavar. Kiran Kazmi. Shristi Kadia. Sahil Ketpal. Austin Wyatt Kin. Tyler Kin. Alexander James Kirk. Ashrika Kohli. Aniket Kotnis. Dylan Kravit. Akash Kumar. Nigel C. Lamb. Taun Rachel Lee. Jacqueline Lee. Jin Pyo Lee. Jonathan Lee. Robert Leonard.
Jason Leong Chong Beng. Jay Leventhal. Alexander James Levin. Adam Michael Levinson. Ray Lee. Xu Li. Sheng Li. Xinpeng Li. Joshua G. Liang. Samuel Lim. Alicia Limfei Ying. Kathy Lin. Menghuan Catherine Lin. Elaine Liu. Joshua Lobel. Bruno Tricole Lopez. Jessica Taylor Lovett. Crystal Jinyu Liu. Liu Diana Lo. Timothy Lynch. Michael Ma. Anne Lee Merklein. Theodore Edward Marshall. Ryan Marshang. Maxwell Albert Marsico. Elizaveta Marsova. Neha Ermi Mather. Daniel Scott McGovern. Sumkit Mehta. Tane Mehta. Mon Ke. Samantha Amy Meskin. Max Meyer. Gregory Miller. Michael Alexander Mirsky. Urja Mittal. Sushan Modi. Adam Gregory Molis. Anthony Murphy. Sean Niznik. Rohan Murthy. Brandon Mustin. Matthias Nikai. Zachary Oken. Christopher Michael Orsinger. Balram Otupatu. Manta Ozalina. David W. Pankowitz. Alexander Paris. Matthew Parmet. Nikita Patel. Lauren Placentra. Danielle Plattis. Weizhao Chi. Pooja Ramesh. Prutyam Ramesh. Luna Rao. Alex Rieger. Natalie Marie Reamer. David Andrew Rinder. Carl Alex Rosario. Kyle Wesley Roth. Nicholas Kusaba Rush. Aliyah Saigal. Devin Ryan Salazar. Victor Salcedo. Suhail Salti. Chance Edward Jean Sanchez. Vanessa Sia. Lisa Shah. Nirav Shah. Shruti Shah. Justin William Shanahan. Maheen Suleiman Sheikh. Yanso Yoel Scheinberg. Serena Yulong Shi. Kevin S. Shi. Sanghyun Shin. Eugene Shin. Jordan Silverman. Max Arthur Silverman. Amitaj Singh. Manmeet Singh. A. Nihar Sinha. Lindsay Smith. Hulbert So. Marissa Solomon. Christian Summers. Gregory Summers. Jahyun J. Song. Ryan Scott Soroka. Graham Stahl. Heather Amy Steinman. Elizabeth Sue. Alice I. Sun. Eric Kevin Sun. Jennifer J. Sun. Mangyuan Soon. Tony Sun. Jitan Sutar. Aditya Tandon. Dana Tang. Larry Manhin Tang. Melissa Tang. Aki Peter Toss. David Ross Thomas. Brian Tolles. Jose Pablo Toscano. Boris Treskunov. Irene Trong. Rohan Vedya. Hu Huang. Pavel Janusz Ukman. David James Vigilante. Andy Waldman. Grace Wang. Lijin Wang. Russell Wong. Thomas J. Wang. Zhongchu Wang. Nicholas James Wharton. Zachary Wagaman. Michael Way. Jeremy Hawkins Weir. Corey Werbelow. Dylan Abe Wexler. Jordan Herbert Winmuller. Alexander Witkoff. Natalie Louise Wright. Amy Wu. David Wu. Rebecca Wu. Andrew J. Wynn. Raymond Zhu. CJ Yen. Kevin Yi. Ryan Jinyuan Yi. Andrew Yi. Yi Yi. Lori Ying. Ella Zhang. Yue Zhu. Tiffany Zhu. Garrett Lee Zawalin. Before honoring our last degree candidate, we also want to acknowledge members of the class of 2014 who are not able to attend today's ceremony. Their names are listed on the screen. And lastly, we present the final... And lastly, we present the final degree candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Economics degree with a concentration in finance, Edgardo S. Boiser.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Sam Lundquist, Wharton's Vice Dean for External Affairs. Sam is responsible for all fundraising, alumni relations, and alumni communication activities at Wharton. Please join me in welcoming Sam Lundquist.
Good morning, graduates, and congratulations. Why am I speaking to you today? As you have been surrounded by support mechanisms in the undergraduate division during your 4 years here, I represent the team that will be handed off to you as those responsible for making sure you stay engaged with the Wharton community throughout the rest of your life. To signify the moment of moving from status as student to that of alumnus, would you please join together in moving your tassels from the right side of your mortarboard to the left? You are now members of an unparalleled community of 92,000 graduates who live in 140 countries worldwide. Most of you will be leaving Philadelphia for destinations around the globe, and we urge you to find one another, not only in your class, but of course from those classes that preceded you. But before you go, please celebrate with your families and friends here on campus. I recommend going to your favorite spot on campus, getting out your mobile phone, turning on your GPS and mark it as home, so that Philadelphia and the Penn campus will always be marked as your intellectual home going forward. We want Wharton to be your personal brand. And to continue to enhance that, please take advantage of the many, many resources that are available to you wherever you happen to go. You know we have regional club networks, we have industry affinity programs that will support you all around the world. We have a robust lifelong learning program that will help you stay intellectually active and curious as you go forward. And as your academic and intellectual needs change throughout the rest of your life, we will adjust those for you and make them convenient and accessible, whether it's online, whether it's in the cities that you live, or of course when you come back for reunion. And then needless to say, there's Wharton Connect, which will help you stay connected to one another online through our social network. So please take advantage of these resources as you go into the alumni community. I'm now delighted to share with you an important Wharton tradition. Each year, Wharton alumni who have demonstrated leadership within the Wharton community are extended an invitation to participate in commencement by carrying a flag that signifies the alumni status. One graduate is selected to serve as alumni marshal, who will pass the 2014 alumni flag to a member of the graduating class. This year, we're delighted to have Ken Moelis as alumni marshal. Mr. Moelis is CEO of Moelis & Company. He completed both his bachelor's degree, Wharton 80, and his MBA, Wharton 81, here at the Wharton School. In passing the 2014 alumni flag to Eddie Boiser, Mr. Moelis is linking the alumni community of the past to those of you today. This tradition with others that you will experience whenever you return to campus and sustain your pride in being part of the Wharton legacy. Welcome to the Wharton Alumni Network.
We are almost finished. You've been an outstanding group of students and leaders, and I need you to do one more thing. Please stand and join us in singing The Red and the Blue. Words to this song are located in the back of your graduation program. I ask that Dean Robertson and my colleagues in the undergraduate division join me at the podium.
For the royal red and blue, their heart has her crimson, oh Yale her colors too. But for dear Pennsylvania, we wear the red and blue. Hurrah, hurrah, Pennsylvania, hurrah for the red and the blue.